Hello and welcome to the Master's Table. Thank you for joining us today. We've got probably this is gonna be one of my favorite dishes because I love steak.
Had a request for the steak.
And it wasn't me.
No, it was somebody on the cruise said they wanted some steak, so we brought some steaks in today. We have some ribeyes. You can do this with a ribeye, sirloin, your choice of cut of steak. You do you, but I'm going to show you how we're going to do our ribeye today. We're going to do it just traditionally in old cast iron, and we're going to do it over a hot iron. We're just going to butter and a little bit of garlic and some thyme and some rosemary, just a little bit of flavor. And Tina, we're going to do this thing up. I got you one and got me one.
I'll eat it.
Yours will be bigger than mine.
I know. I love steak.
Yep, I know you do. It's one of her favorites. When we get ready to go out to eat, she always wants to go eat a steak. So y'all don't go nowhere. Y'all just stay right there. We're going to come back and we're going to throw this thing in there and we're going to have Miss Cleveland happy in a little bit. Come right back here on the Master's Table. Welcome back. Here we are, Miss Cleveland. We're ready to do your steak.
Let's get it rolling.
All right,
the quicker it cooks, the quicker I eat.
I think you go ahead and cut that on. Well, cut that up. We're going to let it heat up, and then we're going to cut it back down because we don't want it to be too hot. But we do want this to...
Now I got a question. Do you recommend cooking that in a cast iron skillet?
I love the cast iron, but you know, a lot of people like the stainless steel. I try, and we use it sometimes, occasionally, the non-stick pans, and I really don't like those because y'all know those cheap pans we get, that stuff always winds up coming off of them, and you know, we got to go back and buy it again. So I really love it, and I'm gonna say this: hadn't nobody sent me none of that good cookware yet, so I'm still waiting on y'all. I'm still waiting, but I'm gonna trust in my old trustworthy cast iron skillet today.
I mean, you can't beat a cast iron skillet.
Yeah, it's hard to beat them. It's good even heat and all, but I do like the stainless steel also. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. I know exactly what you're thinking. Okay. I did pick up one of those. It's almost, it looks like a stainless steel pan, but it's not. It's a non-stick, but it has that coating like those real famous ones that they sell right now. Those that cost $800-900.
I'm gonna say the kind we can't afford.
Yeah, the kind I can't buy. I tell you what I say. If somebody wants, I need a witness right there. If somebody wants to send me a set, I'll sure try it out. But anyway, I saw something that had that kind of coating in it, and I got one and tried it at home, and it done okay. But you still got to put oil in it because the egg don't just float around in there like they show on TV. So anyway, like I said, we're gonna let this come up. We got these ribeyes. We're gonna do these ribeyes, and you know, of course, I checked with a meat thermometer. Some people like them rare. Some people like them like this. They like them that rare. I don't like mine that rare. I like mine. I like a medium. I can eat a medium rare, but I don't want it. Too.
Mooing.
Yeah, I don't want it. Yeah. Daddy used to say, just knock his horns off and bring him on. So, and he would, but I don't like it that rare.
That's not what he said.
I know he added a little bit more to it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I can't say it, but yeah, he didn't. He liked his kind of rare, but I don't like it that rare. And I know y'all say, well, y'all stalling, go on cook this steak. I'm waiting on this to heat up.
We're waiting on the pan to heat up.
We on it to heat up. So, you know, matter of fact, Tina, I'll go ahead and put you some butter in there because butter, in the very first few shows when we first started, we started talking about butter makes everything what?
Bigger.
And better. It does make it bigger.
Bigger and better.
And this is butter. This ain't no.
I can do that.
I know. I was just trying to. I don't want it to burn. I'm just trying to keep it moving around. And we'll probably add you some more in a minute. But I like to bring that pan up to, you know, you want to get it pretty warm. And I put a little bit of olive oil in there to start with. And then we put the butter. And then we'll just add these steaks. Let me see your fork right there a minute, Miss C.
Now, another question.
Yes.
Can you marinate those steaks?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The sky's the limit. You know, some people, they won't eat a steak unless it's been marinated. You know, they want to put it in, you know.
I know people like that.
Different seasonings and stuff and put it in a bag and let it, but really and truthfully, to me, the way I like a steak, and I don't always get to do it this way, but what I like to do is let mine lay out and come up to room temperature. I don't like them to be cold when I cook them. I like to bring them up, and some people bring their meat out and let it age for a little while, for a few hours before they cook it. And I don't leave it quite that long, but you know, the sky's the limit. What seasons you like, but this is, to me, this is just my favorite way. The best way to me is just kind of plain and simple. And I just start with a little bit of we just put a little light coat of salt on them. Let's see. Not gonna put a whole lot. My doctor would get on to me if I put too much, but I'm gonna go ahead and these do have a little bit of a bone in them. See that? It's got a little bone in ribeye. I caught these on sale, and because you know, we always talk about on the show about trying to be as cheap and economical as we can be, and I always am. It's one reason why I hadn't cooked steak much, because you know there ain't nothing cheap in the grocery store. When you go by that meat section, sometimes I'd have to go by and look and just keep on moving. But I do like to cook something like this every once in a while. So what you gotta do is just find them on sale. So just wait and watch them, and you catch them on sale, or when they mark them down, or you know some of your local grocery stores.
That just fits perfect.
Yeah, look at that. So it's like I planned it that way, wasn't it? I'd have made it go in there either way, Miss Cleveland. But you know, some of the grocery stores, they offer that card where you can get a discount, you know, or they have a special during the week. And that's where I got these on sale yesterday, because normally these would be, it wouldn't be good at all when you check out.
It wouldn't be feasible.
Well, like I say, I really live what I try to talk about sometimes, because, you know, I know times and buying meats and stuff, and when you have a big family, you know, stuff like this can be very expensive. But like I say, I got these on sale. These were at a reasonable price. I think they was $16, $18 or something like that, where they normally be twice that much. But thank goodness they was on sale. Now, Miss Cleveland, what we're gonna do, and I know you don't like the grass, and you don't have, but this is all just for flavor. This is flavor. We're gonna add right there, one on that side. Ooh wee. And this is just a fresh piece of thyme. Like I say, I wish I could buy thyme, but I can't buy no thyme. That's the only thyme I can buy. And this is a piece of rosemary. And this is just for flavor. That's all it is, just flavor. I just don't want that to get too hot. I don't want it to get I can never figure this cooktop out. That thing gets on my last good nerve. You hear me? I'm talking about my last good nerve.
See, now that smelled real good till you put that in there.
I'm saying it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right. And don't just leave it alone. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. I don't know what I'm gonna do with you.
It's a habit.
I know it is. I don't know what I'm gonna do with you. Now, this right here is a big piece of garlic right here. I'm gonna cut that in half, and then all I want to do is just kind of smash it just a little bit. All this is just flavor. We're just putting this in here, and you could bring that temperature on up just a little bit more. We can let it cook a little bit hotter than that. But I don't like for it to cook like, some people like to throw it in there and just like super fast, put it in and take it out. But see, I want mine, I just don't want to cook it quite that fast. I guess if you like it real rare, you can throw it in there and sear it on both sides and be done with it. But
I thought that's like not good for you.
What?
Eating it rare.
Well, I mean, you know, you may take a chance, but I must tell you, and a lot of people don't believe it, but just the more rare it is, the less you cook it, the better it is, the better flavor that it has. So I mean, it's just kind of goes hand in hand.
If any of you out there have a recipe where you cook your steak a certain way, or you've tried different things with it, send it to us and let us. We'd love to try it.
Yeah, I mean, I like different marinades, and I like the different seasonings, you know, like sometimes, you know, people put the oil and the dry Italian seasoning, or there's a seasoning, I don't know, there's different ones, I mean, different marinades you can put on, but some of them tend to be kind of salty to me, so I just kind of stay away from them, just salt that, you know, just a little bit, and I like to put a lot of black pepper on it at the end, but I will put a little bit on it just to start with, just for flavor, you know, but
I remember some neighbors we had across the street long time ago, that he would when he cooked his steaks, he would hit them with the
a meat like tenderizing, square, like
and then put them in a Ziploc bag, and then put butter in there. Yeah. Heat the butter up, pour it in there, and that's what he let his marinade in. And oh my gosh.
Yeah,
it was good.
Stuff. And
it was good.
That beating it down makes it tender. You know? And probably what we'll wind up doing with these, and I'm just going to show you, you know, see, it's already, even though that's not hot, see, that's already starting to cook on that side. Someone, if you're going to do it like a rare, maybe a real, just maybe a little bit past rare to getting close to medium rare, you could put this in a real hot pan, 3 minutes, flip it, 3 minutes on that side, and snatch it out. And that's where a lot of people like them. Where a lot of people like them. And I know you like yours a little more done, Tina. So what I'm gonna do, see that? See, it's starting to get a sear on it. I I'm just showing you. Normally I wouldn't do all this. And then, you know, if you want to watch it along the way, and I'm going to go ahead and give you them. I feel like a broke record all the time.
Well, it's the truth, though.
But it is the truth. Go invest in and this is just a little old $10, $12 meat. I done broke it. Every one I get, I break. And I drop them, and I don't throw them, but I do drop them, and they get knocked around. Buy you a meat thermometer, and that way you can monitor this. You can keep eye on it. You can get it right to the temperature. You know, if you want it rare, if you want it medium, or if you want it well done, or you want it super done, and even if you want it so done, you got to take a chainsaw and cut it. That's almost where y'all at, Tina.
No, it's not.
But see, I'm just going to show you, just for instance. See right now. See, you think it's really, you know, cooking, but see the outside is, but see it's still just, you know, it's still cool in the middle. Well, we're gonna cook this up to we're gonna look at them at 145. You know, that's you know, 140, 145. You coming up on rare, but you know, it's just according to how done you want it. You know, come on up to 150, 160. You know, just.
And then you just stand here and look at it.
You just stand here and look at it. We're just waiting on it to cook. Now, what you can do, have we got a spoon in here? That one's too big. Let me see if I got one over here. Don't let it go nowhere, Miss Cleveland. Just hang on just a minute. I know I got a regular spoon here.
I'm gonna throw this stuff out of it.
I seen something. No, what you can do along the way.
Just take it out.
Huh? No, you can't take. It's just flavor. See what we're gonna do is you can just go ahead and start basting a little bit. Like I say, we're just trying to get some of that good flavor. And we're gonna flip them in a minute. You don't have to flip them a whole lot if you don't want to, or you know, if you want to turn them a few times, you know, you can go on, you can get online on YouTube or you know, any of the places where you can watch the videos and watch them. You know, there's different ways people do it. You know, and I like to kind of poke a little bit in mine so that you know the flavor can get on the inside. But see, we're going to give those a little turn. Some people like the one flip method, and then some people like the sear and then turn ever so just real fast, you know, ever so often. And so we'll just see. We'll see where to get to here in just a minute. But you know, now I love a pan seared cooked steak like this. It's delicious to me. But I'm not gonna lie to you, I would rather throw it on the grill. Personally myself, I like it on the grill. I like to butter it down good, you know, put it on the grill. I see people that take the cast iron, put on the grill and cook them just like this on the grill and take them out and you know, and sear them that way, and that's good too. But I like the charcoal flavor. Like the gas, it's convenient. You know, you can flip it on, cook a little bit, and cut it off. But you know, it's just all in
preference
in what you like. Yeah, there's no right or wrong way when it comes to doing you. So see, it's coming up now. We're creeping up on 100 degrees. So you know, it's just according to how done you want yours, Miss C. That one's cooking a little bit hotter on that backside. It's not. I think I stuck it too deep in there. See, we're right around 100 right now. And so see that pan's getting warm. So that's the thing about the cast iron. When it gets hot, it's hot.
Yep.
But I knew this was gonna take just a minute, and I just know you'd want to talk a little bit. So we just sitting here watching it.
Me?
Yeah, you talk. You talk. Miss Cleveland. Know what I'm gonna do with you.
All I know is God is good.
You just want your steak done, right? You just want me to hurry up and get you. Oh, God is good. Yes. Yep.
Yep, He is.
I was thinking about it the other day, you know, about deliverance and God making ways, you know, and all throughout the scriptures, you know, of the ways that He made, you know. I was reading. I have no idea what I'm gonna preach Sunday, but I was reading and I was thinking about Noah. You know, when Noah built the ark and God. You know, the scripture says that God shut him in, you know, so that he wasn't required to do anything except what God told him to do. And then God was the one that shut him in and took care of him. And it's just, I think about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, you know, in that fiery furnace. I mean, I just think about those stories so much. I mean, they come back to, I see that stuff, God delivering, you know, in the scriptures, but then I look in our everyday life how He provides and takes care of us now. Yep. You know, I'm glad He didn't tell me to go out and build an ark today.
Me too.
I'm glad that I didn't have to build that big old ark. But, you know, God gave him the means, provisions to do it, and, you know, it's just amazing.
The key is obedience.
That's exactly right. But I just think about that deliverance and God bringing us out, you know. And how many times have we seen Him bring us out? and bring us through and work out things for us. That's, you know, I had a guy, and I try to witness to the guys at work a lot, and I had a guy, he told me, he said, well, Bro Frankie, he said, I just have a hard time trusting in something I can't see, feel, or touch, or get my hands on. And I told him, I said, well, I said, tell you about me. I said, if you know him like I know him, I can feel that breeze blow through every once in a while. I can feel the Holy Spirit when he moves in, and I can feel when God's doing things. I said, but, you know, that faith, you have to believe just a little bit by faith, just a little bit of faith, and trust in God, and God will begin to do things in your life and open doors.
Yep.
But he said that I just can't understand how you believe in that. And I told him this is part of my testimony. And I didn't come to testify today, but we're waiting on these states. But let's check this out. Just a little bit more, we'll flip it again. But I told him, I said, you know, the evidence in my life that how real God is to me is there was a time in my life where he moved and he changed me, and I didn't want to change. I wasn't ready to change. I liked my life the way it was. I liked doing what I was doing. I thought everything was just fine the way it was. And then when God moved in, I had no choice but to change. I wanted to change. I desired. There was something in me. And so that's how I know how real God is. And that's the only way I can describe.
You need to tell them what you used to do.
Oh, I used to do.
Now I'm talking about what we used to do.
Oh, yeah. Some of y'all have heard us testify before about it. And I had a DJ and karaoke business. I lived and worked for the world and hung out in the world. And when God called me, I knew it was time to change. And I changed instantly. And Tina was still wondering and struggling, you know, about, well, I don't know if is this really what we need to do? And I prayed and I said, God, you're going to have to change her heart too. And lo and behold, here she is, clothed and in her right mind. Well, most of her right mind today. She's
But when we were doing those DJing, we were doing the dances for the middle school, and at that time our kids were in middle school.
Yeah, that's the only reason why we was doing it.
And
we're trying to keep up with the kids.
I loved getting out there with those kids and doing all the dances and having a good time and all that, and then boom. And I was like, I don't know if I want to give that up or not. This is pretty fun.
It was money, too. It was money, brothers and sisters.
It was a lot of money. It was a lot of money. And so it wasn't long after that, I was like, I don't know how this is going to work. And it wasn't long after that, God started changing my heart. And I wasn't even looking for it. And he started making me think about things differently. And man, it wasn't long after that. It was
just God being God, wasn't it? He just,
So, like Frankie always says, we finished what was on the books, what we had scheduled, and...
Yep. I said I would be a man of integrity. I would do for people what I told them I was going to do, but I also made a promise to God. When I get done with this right here, I'm 100% in. And I like it because, you know, a lot of people say, well, you should have just quit and walked away then. And I really thought about that. But I also thought about, by me finishing what I was going to do, it gave me a chance. And I'll never forget the looks on some of the people's faces, because they would say, well, we won't get y'all to come back. And I said, I won't be able to come back. And they would say, well, why? And I said, I made up my mind. I'm going to follow God, and I'm going to follow after God and see what he has for me. So I'm not going to do this business anymore. And I would get the funniest looks. And then one guy, he said, you going to follow who? I said, I'm going to follow God. I said, you need to find out who God is yourself. He didn't even know who I was talking about. So it gave me an opportunity and gave me a chance to testify.
Didn't he know who it was?
He said, God told him, I said, I'm going to go on with God. I said, I'm going to leave this behind. I'm going to go on and see. I like to tell people, I'm just going to run on and see what the end's going to be. And so that's kind of where I was at. I wanted to go follow God and see what he had for me.
Yeah.
And I testified to this guy, and he said, who? And I said, God. I said, I'm going to go with God. So, and I prayed and I planted some seed that day. You know, I don't know where that young man is in his walk right now, but you know what? We planted some seed that day that we was going to give up some things. You know, God, he will replace everything you give up to serve him. I done seen that time. Go ahead and flip those again, Miss Cleve. I've been turning them. I'm doing your job. But I've seen it time and time and again that God will absolutely replace anything that you think you got to have that's hindering you from serving him. I told somebody this morning, as a matter of fact.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I love that post.
Yeah, I told somebody, and it hit my mind. I said, you know, God, how did I word that? I can't remember how I said it. I said, if you don't remove what's hindering you from God, God will remove what's hindering you. That's what He'll do.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what He done in my life. He removed the things and gave me a new desire and a new taste for things that I never thought possible. So.
Yep.
Ain't he good, Miss Cleveland?
Been a good ride.
Boy, I'm telling you right now.
If it ended right now, it's been a good ride.
That's right. That's right. And
we're not sorry a bit.
What's that? What's that
Never
song?
apologize for following God.
But see, this is done enough for me, Miss Cleveland. This is getting done. See how that's just raising on? It's just gonna keep on climbing. These are about to get done enough for me. Now I know you like yours a little bit more done. See, this is on this side. See there? They coming on up there. And I've cooked them slow. Like I said, I could have cut this way up and cooked these real fast, but I just like that slow, and I just
It falls right into what we're talking about.
What?
Slow. It takes time.
Yep.
It takes time.
Yep. And if you're not sure, this is what my pastor told me in my calling. He told me, could I ask him, I said, how do I know God has a calling on my life, and how do I know what I feel on the inside is real? And I'll tell you what he told me. He said, run. He said, try your best to get away from the calling of God on your life. He said, if you can get away from it, it ain't God. He said, but if and I'll never forget, I mean, the smile on his face, because he already knew. And I look at young preachers now when they ask me the same question, because when you question it, you already know.
Yeah.
You already know what God's calling you to do. So
yep. There might be somebody out there today that you're not sure if you don't have a clue what we're talking about. Maybe God's calling you to do something, and you're not sure. But why don't you call us? Give us email us. We'll be glad to sit down and talk to anybody.
Anytime.
Because we can tell you what He's done for us. We're not experts at anything, but we can tell you what God's done for us, and I bet He'll do the same for you if you just allow Him to.
I know He will. God will do some amazing things in your life. Let me see that fork right there. I just want to go ahead and put a little more butter on this top. We're just getting ready to pull these, Miss Cleveland. And we're going to pray over them. We're going to eat them.
Poor cow. Just kidding.
It's good.
I can't say that.
That's good right there.
It looks
really good. What you think?
I
know it ain't done enough for you, that one right there. That other one, it's getting done. Oh, look here. See?
They're pretty thick.
Yeah, they are thick. They thick. Yep. There it is, Miss C.
Okay.
I'm going to get you a plate out. We can get ready to plate this thing up. Cut you off a piece and let's just see what you think about it.
Maybe.
It ain't moving.
I don't know about
it's
that
done
right
enough.
there.
It ain't moving.
We got to get that out of there.
That's just what, Tina, you don't have to eat that. You're
yeah,
not.
but the looks.
Anything that thyme, rosemary, any kind of parsley, anything like that, Tina said, I don't want that grass in it. I'm not going to make you eat the grass. It's just the flavor that comes from the grass, right?
I think there was a song about thyme and rosemary.
It probably was.
It was a 70s song.
Maybe you need to write one. We're going to sing that song next time we come. We're going to sing. I sent Tina a song the other day. I hope we walk the last mile together. So y'all don't go nowhere. Y'all come right. We're going to get this thing out. We're going to cut it up. We'll be right back on the Master's Table.
Welcome back. All right, before we get to the steak, I'm going to give you your verse of the day, and it comes out of one of my favorite books of the Bible, Proverbs 23:7. As he thinketh in his heart, so is he. And then there's a little thing that goes with it. Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. So, it's all in you. If you think you can do it, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. The power. They say the power of the tongue, the power of thoughts is very powerful. So stop putting yourself down and know that you can do anything with God's help.
That's right. And then I like to go on and say,
I could talk a lot about that.
Through Christ, all things are possible.
That's exactly right.
All things are possible.
Exactly right.
Don't you ever forget that, Miss C.
Okay.
All right. Well, we're gonna talk about the steak. Look, I cooked these. I slipped these in on y'all. I cut these baked potatoes, or potatoes. They wasn't baked. So we've been munching over here. Oh, I took these potatoes and cut them in half. Put down a pat of butter, a little bit of Parmesan cheese, and put them flat side down and let these bake for about 40 minutes. I think at 425, I think is what I set them on. Check them at 30 and see if they're starting to get. They cook a whole lot faster when they cut in half. But these right here was just kind of to pair along. And like I say, you cook them that side down, and then you just kind of break them loose and flip them over and see.
They are very good.
That's crunchy. That's real crunchy on the bottom, so that's really good. And so I done got the crew fixed up. The people that y'all don't know about behind the scenes, I got them ready right here. But Mr. Cleveland, you tell me what you think about that steak.
This steak?
Yep, you try it out and see. It might not be good as a restaurant you like, but it's okay, I bet you.
It's good, and I don't even touch that green stuff.
See, you don't even. I told you wouldn't. See, I told her you don't taste the don't taste the grass. You just cook it with it and get the flavor. So
good.
I'm glad y'all chose to hang out with us and watch the Master's Table today. Try your steak the way you want it, cook it the way you want it. I hope that you'll try this and just let us know. Just reach out to us, and if there's something you want us to cook, just please send me a message right here on the Master's Table. See y'all next time. Love y'all.